Python variables and constants. We shall start with our discussion with Python variables. We know that in any programming language, we define some variables. So variables are nothing but some named memory locations. So how many memory locations will be defined under one variable? That will be decided by its data type, that is the size of the data type. So here we are having the Python variables. So in Python variable is a named location used to store data in the memory. Each variable must have a unique name called identifier. So depending upon the data type of the variable, the number of bytes going to be occupied, that will be decided, and the memory address of that memory block will be having a name which is accessible from the programming code. So that will make the programmers easier to write their codes. In Python, variables do not need declaration to reserve memory space. The variable declaration or the variable initialization happens automatically when we assign a value to a variable. So there is no need to define all the variables at the beginning of the code. Like in our C, C++, we always write all the variables and the respective data types at the beginning of our code, and then only we can use them in the respective successive codes. But that constraint is not there in Python. The variable declaration and the variable initialization can be done in the same statement. So here you see there is a count is equal to 100, say emp underscore name is equal to Robin, and say age1, age2, age3 is equal to 44, 37, 22. So in this way you see at this particular line the variable age1, age2, age3 they have got defined, the respective variables have got initialized, and here you see here we put the integer value, so the variable will have the respective data type integer in that case. So in this way we can have multiple variables can be initialized, can be declared in the same statement, and there is a syntax in which we are writing. So there is no need to put the semicolon at the end of the Python statement. So that's why no semicolon is there. So that's why there is a way to define and also to initialize variables. A constant is a type of variable whose value cannot be changed, and it is helpful to think of constants as containers that hold information which cannot be changed later on. So that's why the constant is nothing but a variable which will be holding a value, but the value cannot be changed later on. So naming conventions for variables and constants in Python, so that is the nomenclature should be purposeful. We all know that it is a good programmer's practice. The best practices of the developers and programmers is that the variable name, the function name, the class name should be purposeful. From the very variable name, I should get the idea what is the purpose of the variable and what kind of value it is supposed to hold. The use name, there is a camel case notation. What is the meaning of this camel case? Camel case means the first letter will be in the lowercase, but the next words, if there are multiple words in the variable name, they will be starting with the capital letters and the rest of the letters will be in the lowercase. So use capital letters to represent a constant. Symbols like your @ hash, exclamation, dollar, percentage, etc. should not be used. Don't start with the digit, that is very common. In the previous video also we have shown you that one variable is not a valid variable name, but variable 1 is a valid variable name. So constants are put into function modules and meant not to be changed here. As I discussed earlier, the constants cannot be changed later on. So constant and variable names should have the combination of letters in lowercase, that is small a to small z, or uppercase letters, that is the capital A to capital Z, or digits, that is 0 to 9, or an underscore. These are the valid characters in naming. So let us go for a further discussion with some demonstration for easier understanding. In this session, we are discussing and demonstrating how to define constants and variables. So constants in Python can be defined. It is our common practice to write all the constant name all in the capital letters. So pi is equal to 3.14, gravity is equal to 9.8. In this way, the constants can be defined in our Python. And now we are going to define that how the variables can be defined and how to declare variable, how to assign values on them.
So a is equal to apple. So now a is a variable, as the apple is of the type text or string, so a will be of the type string here. So print a, so a will get printed. So now let me go for the execution. This line has got no print, so that's why the no outcome is there. So let me go for the print. If you go for this print pi, we are getting this one as 3.14. Now for this part, if I go for the execution, it will come like this. So a is equal to apple, so print a, so it is printing apple here. Changing the value of a variable, so that can be done using reassignment. So a is equal to aeroplane. So now if you type this one and then print a, it is printing the respective string. So next time I'm printing, I'm just assigning 100 to a. So now if we print a, then it is getting the value 100. So you can find that the same variable sometimes may be initialized with the string, sometimes with the integer, and that is allowed in Python, because in case of Python is a dynamic type language. That means the variable's data type will be decided during the runtime. So during the runtime, whatever the value the variable is containing, that will decide the data type of the variable. And in case of Python, there is no need to declare the variable separately at the beginning of the code. We can define variable as when we require to use them. And he can find that here this a is equal to aeroplane. So that means the a has got the data type string, and the next part of the code, the a will be treated as a string until and unless it is getting initialized with some other data type value. So here we have written a is equal to 100. So in the next part of the code, a will be treated as of the type integer until and unless a is getting initialized with some other type of values. Assigning multiple values to a variable. So b, c, d, all these three variables are getting assigned with this 1, 2.5 and hello respectively in a same single line. So this 1 will be assigned to b, 2.5 will be assigned to c, and hello will be assigned to d. So when you are printing b, c and d, we are getting the outcome as 1, 2.5 and hello. Next one is that assigning the same value to multiple variables using a same statement in the same line, So b is equal to c is equal to d is equal to 5. That means the 5 is getting assigned to b, c and d both at the same time in a single statement, single assignment statement. So 555 is going to get printed here. So in this example and demonstration, we have discussed that how to define constants and how to define variables and how to assign values on them. Thanks for watching this video.